Happy Tuesday, pod pickers. Yeah.
Yeehaw! It's the final episode of season 5 until we fuck off for good.
Goodbye.
See you forever. Just kidding. Season 5 is over today, guys, but we are continuing all the fun over on Patreon.
Pepperoni Patreoni.
Pepperoni Patreoni.
It always reminds me of that.
Really?
When you say Patreoni, it's like pepperoni pizza.
Patreoni. We're going to miss you very much, and we hope you enjoyed last week's episode with the girlies from... I was going to say a lot on your herd.
Girls Overheard.
I hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Girls Overheard. It's had some lovely feedback. They're so great. We love them very much, actually. And yeah, some good advice.
Do you know what we should have said? Blending.
We're blending. It was a real blended studio set.
Love it.
But on today's episode, we're going to have a little quick catch up, and then we are going to speak all about the Hindu dramas. It's Hindu season.
People are booking up.
They're planning.
Yeah. Still have nae Hindus.
Nae Hindu.
Nae Hindotra. Nae Hindus to go on.
You've not?
Never?
I've got one this year.
Whose?
Richard's sister.
Fine.
And yes, it's one of the, this will probably be my proper first Hindu where, you know, I'm there and I don't know anyone except my sister-in-law.
Right.
And obviously Hayley. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, we've asked you guys all of the dramas, the juice basically, but also some good stuff as well. But yeah, we wanted to hear the funny stuff. So we're going to dive into that. But let's kick off the final episode with what's been a lot on your plate.
I've done fuck all, I think.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Next. The only thing that I've got to speak about is I went to another one-to-one with Cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Puppy training vibes. And all I've got to say about it is why she's so good with them but so shite with me.
Because it's a process.
Not quick enough.
I know, you're so impatient with this sort of stuff though, Zoe.
I know I am. And I'm really trying to be patient, but it's difficult. But the next one I go on, my mum's going to come with me as well, so that we're both like doing the same thing.
Yeah, because you're co-parent, so you need both parents to be doing the same thing. Which
we are because we communicate.
Yeah.
But I think it would be good for my mum to see how he does things.
Right, so she can...
And I feel you can pick it up better if you're there.
Yeah.
Rather than me relaying the information, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I'll probably miss half it out. But that's what I've been up to at the weekend there. I literally did virtually nothing apart from go to my dad's for Burns night.
Oh yeah, that was very extra, Zoe.
Very extra.
I can't believe it. So we were all in our group chat and I was sending in mince and tatties, which we'll talk a bit about in a minute. And then Zoe sent in this, I don't know,
it did look
gourmet buffet.
Yeah, it did look restaurant standard. I will give her that, my stepmom. But we do usually do a Burns night every year, and then there was a blip in the system for a couple of years where it never happened, right? I think it was maybe COVID, so it ruins everything. And I was a bit taken aback because I enjoy it. Love haggis, as we know.
Yes.
So anyway, it was back on the radar this year, maybe last year, I can't remember. So went, and for starter we had patty.
Your fave?
See if you didn't need to stop eating that, would you ever? Because I wouldn't.
You love it, don't you?
Like I would just keep eating patty and crackers all night. All day and all night. And then for main, we had haggis, neeps and tatties and like the one we layered thing.
And she'd like pipe the potato on top.
Pipe the potato on top, fancy. Then we had homemade steak pie.
Gorgeous.
And a wee dish. And then we had black pudding bonbons.
Wow.
I would take haggis over black pudding any day, right?
But because you had the haggis.
It was to try and get, it was like all the Scottish things in the one dish. And then it was a wee tiny gravy boat thing of peppercorn sauce.
Yum.
Delicious. And then...
Not whiskey sauce?
Not whiskey, it was peppercorn.
Okay.
Maybe it should have been whiskey, it's Scottish theme. For dessert, we had tablet ice cream.
Homemade?
With a bit of tablet.
Shut up. Did she make that?
I'm not sure if she made it. No, I don't think she made the ice cream. She might have made the tablet, though.
Bloody Nora.
I know, it was gorgeous.
Love tablet.
Same. I love tablet and I love fudge, but I kind of forget that I love it. Like, I would never pick that up in a shop. Never, ever.
It's very sweet though, isn't it? And it also gives you a massive crash when you have a bit and you're like, get it on. Bit much.
But that was really my weekend. Sunday, I had the most Sunday of Sundays to ever exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up, had like a slow morning on the couch with a cuppa, and then I tidied the flat, hoovered, all the usual shit. And then I went to Pilates, humbled, just so everyone knows. Extremely humbled, actually. And then I went to all the shops I needed to get all my bits and bobs for the week. Then I came home and I made soup.
Bloody hell.
I know, can you believe it? And then I went and picked up Cookie and brought it home. And then I made dinner. And then I chilled. Like, it was productive but enjoyable.
Yeah. And you've starting to go back to Revolution, because I told you that Revolution's opened at East Kilbride now, which I think it's been open for a while.
But Zoe was
no
like,
idea. What? It's right near my house.
I don't know how I missed that. It's obviously in the ether somewhere and I didn't get
it.
The
thing is with Revolution Spin, right, and Revolution, the whole group, I think it looks great, but when I go on their Instagram, that is like sensory overload for me. Like the Scottish GBX music that they play with the flashing lights, I think I would have an attack. I wouldn't be going in there feeling zen. I'd be going out feeling wired.
It's definitely
is
not,
it always like that?
It's definitely not a zen. We're not going for zen. We're going for like pump it. Like, let's fucking pump it. You know what I mean?
I just don't know how I feel about that GBX, you know.
No, I'm not into that either, but I think the spin classes, they quite often do themes, so you can maybe pick what you go to.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do all that, like Kanye versus
Beyonce
or something.
Oh, that'd be quite fun.
But it was Pilates I went to.
And it's always the flashing colourful lights.
I think it depends on who you've got.
Yeah.
I think they do always have the lights on, like that's kind of their thing.
Fair folks.
I believe.
Yeah.
And they do actually put it on Pilates a wee bit as well.
Yeah.
Because even the Pilates, it's not like cam.
Yeah.
It's like a hit version of Pilates. I think I prefer that. The slower camera versions are a bit, I think I'm so aware of the time.
Yeah.
Like it feels long, whereas they feel quite short.
Like a HIIT workout, isn't it?
Yeah, but also, my God, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, well, this is my thinking, right? I didn't think I was going to find it easy whatsoever. I don't mean that. But because I've been going to Richard, obviously, and I know that I'm lifting a lot heavier weights and doing a lot more intense things than I ever was, surely I'm stronger than I've ever been right now.
But have you ever seen a football team try a Pilates class?
Well, exactly.
Or a rugby team?
I know it's so different. I know, and to be fair, I probably don't do a huge amount on core, I suppose.
Yeah.
But see, even the bit when you put your arm in and you need to pull like your whole weight basically with your arm, I think this is a fucking piece of piss. I'm strong, right? I couldn't move it. And then she was like, if you feel like you can do it, stand up whilst doing it. I thought, fucking no chance, hen. I'll stay right where I am. Not a lot of people stood up, no thank fuck, because if they all did, I would have to go up. And I am that person that's like, I don't want to look shite in here.
Yeah.
And I think I was saying to Jason, he was like, why is it what people think? I'm like, it's not what they think, it's what I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to feel shite in here.
No.
Anyway, I'm going to go back in a couple of days. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah,
I want to be better.
Yeah, you should.
And also, it really made me realise the benefits you could get from that.
God, it's such deep core muscle strength as well.
And I think when you've not done it in so long, you realise again all over, like, see when you are pulling it from your arm, it's like the root of your arm you're pulling.
Yeah.
It's not like the loose muscle at the top. Do you know what I mean?
It just works up them all.
Fuck me.
I know, I'm definitely going to get into Pilates when I push this baby out, because I think it's going to be really good to help rebuild core strength and pelvis and stuff like that.
That's probably quite a good exercise. Like, I would imagine they would recommend that.
Yeah, I think they do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do. But we're actually going to have a really good Patreon episode when we're gone, all about wellness girly, it girl era, where we're going to discuss all of our favourite things to do on the perfect GWR day, weather day.
It was GWR weather the day.
It was. I was going to text you this morning like, look at the weather today.
I went into the dentist, which is in the West End, and I was blinded by the sun to get my next retainers. 8 sets I've got now for the next 8 weeks.
Ooh-hoo.
I'm sorted.
Wow. So you've got your Christmas present in that I bought you?
Both, my wee bauble.
Got your earrings in as well.
Oh, I do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Wow, appreciative.
I think you should tell people where your jumper's from and your earrings then.
In fact, no, I will tell you where my jumper's from because it's no ASOS.
Oh!
Can you believe it? It's Zara. Zara jumper, jeans that I always wear. Earrings are Nimaro. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd see my clasp, I don't know if you can. That's Nima roll. Jess got me the earrings and the bauble thing for my Christmas.
Love it, Zoe.
Anyway, that's really all I've been doing, to be honest. I'm quite a homebird in the month of January. I enjoy it.
I wonder if a lot of people are going to have a nice beverage on the 1st of Feb.
I was going to go out on the 1st of Feb, but I think we're going the week after now.
Glasgow?
I've got a sneeze coming. Oh, it hurts.
They used to hate that when you were a kid and people used to ruin your sneeze. Just go.
Anyway, what's been a lot on your plate? I've got fuck all else to say.
Not a lot. Nursery started. House is a shit tip. And I give birth in less than 3 weeks. Yay. Growth scan
That's
tomorrow.
quite a lot on your plate, I would say.
Growth scan tomorrow. Shock, horror. She went there and she's like, oh, your bump's measuring 42 weeks. So yeah, I've got a scan tomorrow, but it should be fine. I'm not going to overthink it like I did
Your
last
bump's
time.
42 weeks right now.
Yeah. On the tape measure, they literally put it like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, 42. I'm like, oh, that seems accurate. Fuck off. Honestly, I
Does
just
it not all depend on like what size you are and all that though?
I don't know. It's so dated anyway, and everyone tells me just take it with a pinch of salt, and I have done, because last time, remember, I was in a right state last time I went to her and she
Yeah,
told me I was on a
everything was
growth
fine.
scan. I went for a growth scan and they were like, yeah, it's a big baby, but you're still measuring in the normal. So
why are we having to go through it all again?
No, because she was just like, no, I really think you've got a big baby in there. Also, she was feeling where the position was, and she actually, the baby's head, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, guys, is down there, and she actually put her fingers between it, and she was like holding it like that, and then it went boof. Pure booted me, obviously.
Fair fucks.
I know. And she was like, oh, go on. I was like, how do you feel that? Because I was like, are you sure that's the head down there?
Yeah.
She was like, I am certain, because she can, then she listens to the heartbeat, which was here. And then she's like, go on, feel it. And I couldn't actually reach round. But then I said to her, I think it's a girl. I said, I'm almost like certain in my like gut feeling that I'm having a girl. And she went, I'm going to tell you now. She went, I have absolutely no idea. No, there's no science behind it. There's nothing. I've just got this feeling that you are having a girl. And I was like, okay, well, that's that then.
I think it's a girl. Oh, I don't know. My mind changes every
It
day.
is a girl, guys. But I still believe I'm a boy mum. That's why I've still got this boy in my head.
I know.
But I know, I'm going to eat my words. I know that's a girl in there.
Do something if you're a girl.
Silence. Let me tell you now, if I announce it's a boy, I want you to picture this. I'm on that hospital bed. I've just pushed it out of my fanny, and I will have fell off the bed in shock. That is going to be me. I will be floored of shock if they say it's actually a Tinky Winky there down there.
It'll be Richard that'll say it, won't it? Unless he's in the floor as well.
Imagine if I actually did fall off and the baby's still like attached. What a disaster that would happen to me. Anyway, so we went and worked in town, didn't we, last week? And we went down Buchanan Street and we saw Mango's opening on Buchanan Street. Thank
and I just
God.
know they're going to make that a good one.
Yeah.
Because there's good ones and there's shite ones.
Mm-hmm.
And all the ones we've got are actually shite.
Yeah, the one at the fort, we've said this before,
The
it's
one
shit.
at the fort and the one in
The one in
Galleries.
Canning Galleries is not that bad, but the layout of the shops just, ugh.
Nobody goes up there.
Hate it. So I think that's a great move for them. Mango's come in. What else did we see?
We saw that food shop.
Oh yeah, it's called Foodies. There's a nice Scottish food produce shop in Buchanan Galleries. By the way, Buchanan Galleries has got some nice shops in it, you know. I was walking through it a couple of times and I thought, you know what, it's not actually that bad in here.
No, it's not, but I think that's all getting knocked down.
Oh. Maybe in student flats.
So they say, same as St. Nick's, who
Yeah.
knows. Yeah, Foodies it's called. Looks quite good, nice wee cookbooks and that in the window there.
And you know where I'm going on Thursday, actually? What day is it today?
Tuesday.
So on Thursday, you know Shucks in the West End?
Yes.
Did you ever get to go to Shucks?
No.
Oh, it was a shame because it was actually really, really lovely. But they've changed they've closed and it's being called the Clarence and it's the same owners as Cale Brook and Brett.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to their opening night on Thursday.
Lovely.
And that'll probably be my final date night. Took Richard to Seb's. because he wanted to go. He loved it. But anyway, as I was saying, me and you went down Buchanan Galleries. Buchanan Street, because we went to Clubhouse finally for some food.
In Princess
Square. And talking of mince and tatties, the menu is just iconic, isn't it? It's like...
That's just my perfect menu, honestly.
Yeah.
We eat a sandwich with Monster Munch in it.
I said to the waiter, can we clarify what this means? It was like cheese and pickle with Monster Munch. I was like, is that as in like the crisp? And he was like, yeah, crushed up Monster Munch.
It was so good.
I was like salivating at the thought.
It was so bloody good. And we get haggis bonbons to start whilst we were deciding what to get.
Of course.
Can't beat them. So then we shared the sandwich. We shared mince and tatties. You'd never had them before.
With dumplings. And I know it's so basic for you guys, and it is just basically a deconstructed cottage pie, but
yeah, it's
with slash stew. But I know that was a really good mince and tatties.
No, I can confirm it was.
Because it tasted so fucking rich and good, and the mash was good. The dumpling was perfect. I'm actually dribbling as I'm saying it.
What I used to do at my grand's every Tuesday was mix my mince and tatties all up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people say it looks like a dog's dinner.
Yeah.
I'm into that. And then put tomato ketchup all over it, and there'd be carrots in it as well.
Yeah, well, there was carrots in that one.
Was there?
Yeah, parsley on top. I put a bit of ketchup through it. Brown sauce, I would have loved that, but the heartburn said no. And then when I put it on my story, quite a lot of people were like, you need white pudding with that.
What's white pudding?
It's a different blood cell of black pudding, I'm sure. Yeah.
Ooh, that made me feel
I think it might be Irish. Maybe I've made that up. I'm sure white pudding's like an Irish thing.
I've never heard of that in my whole entire life.
But anyway, the menu at Clubhouse, and it's so nice in there. You can sit outside and have a look at the beautiful Buchanan Galleries. But you can also sit at the back. Loads of screens of sport. So if you want to go somewhere with your boyfriend, or if you're a guy listening to this, by the way, and you're really into your football or your rugby, or a woman, great place to go with the lads for the weekend for pre-drinks. Watch the sport. And just nice vibes. Nice, good food.
I just think I can guarantee couples go out a lot on the weekend to go and do some shopping, get some lunch, and the guys sitting the whole time. There's a good game on I'd like to be watching.
Yeah.
That does the job because you can get a cocky whilst you're in there.
Really good cocky as well.
Good food. It's a nice venue, nice atmosphere. You're not like in a shouty pub.
Yeah.
Love it. I'll be back for the food, absolutely.
Rich texted me because he saw we were in there, and he was like, oh, he sees, Open Goal, Sci Ferry and that. He said they record some podcasts in there, and he's like, I always wanted to try it. So anyway, the next day, I was like, he's like, let's go into town for some breakfast. So I thought, where can we go? I remember that they do a real full Scottish breakfast.
They do.
So I was like, I want to go and get that. He was like, well, let's just go then. I was like, well, you can tick that off.
How was it?
So fucking good.
It looked good. That was a full plate.
Did I send you a picture? I did, didn't I?
Yeah. And I was like, where the fuck are you? And you were like, back at Clubhouse. I was like, oh, did I just leave you there last night?
Had orange juice, had coffee with a tablet on the side.
Wow.
He had the exact same as me. Just a proper full Scottish breakfast. Really, really good.
Love it.
Can't recommend enough, to be fair.
I just think it's pop them off from Princess Square.
It is.
There's so many options, and you can pop out Space NK.
It's confirmed.
It's official. It's expanding.
We saw it. We saw the sign.
It says it there in black and white.
The old Essence of Harris shop.
It needs to be bigger. I'm happy about this.
Yeah, same.
It needs to expand. It's like a shoebox in there.
And then we need Anthropology wrapped round next to it, and we're sweet.
Nothing's missing, I don't think, anymore.
Nah.
Off.
But anyway, after we had breakfast, I was like, what do you want to do? Blah, blah. We're having a little mooch around town. He was like, oh, I really want to go to get some what did he want? Magnesium glycate or something.
Yeah, it's called something
like that. He wanted some sort of supplement that you're seeing everywhere, and he's like, Holland and Barrett do it, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm sure I have loads of that in my cupboard. I was like, there's loads of supplements that I have, if you know me. And anyway, so we went into Holland and Barrett. I went home and I looked in my cupboard. I didn't have it, but what I did have was magnesium. I remember when I used to speak about this on the podcast all the time. I used to take magnesium supplements every single night when I was doing a lot of training for the half marathon and just high rock stuff in general, because it really helped my restless legs. But then when I started taking my prenatal supplements, I was really conscious of like overtaking loads. So I just kind of stepped back and just took the one all-in-one multi because it had it in it. Anyway, restless legs have been through the freaking roof, right? And I think I might have mentioned this before.
What the fuck can you even do with that? Because it's honestly so annoying.
Well, I'm going to tell you. So
here we go, guys. Strap on in.
Magnesium bath salts is another amazing one. The only way I could... do you remember when I texted you, or did I tell you the next morning? I was like, I was actually having a bath at 2 in the morning because I woke up in that much agony. I need to go and do something. So anyway, I was rading through my cupboard and I was like, what the fuck? I've got magnesium powder. And you know how I have my heartburn smoothie every morning? I thought, I'm going to start whacking in a couple of scoops of this. And it was JS Health Advanced Magnesium Raspberry and Lemonade, I think the flavour is, powder form of the tablets that I used to take. And I remember when I was working with them, they sent me the tablets, but they said to me, we've got a new formulation of a powder.
I remember that coming out.
And they were like, you should try it. Anyway, I never opened it because...
You were used to taking the
exactly.
supplements.
So I was starting using that for about 2 weeks now, and I have not had restless legs since. Hand on frickin' heart, Zoe.
I must go on to that because that's the worst feeling in the world. It's because you're overtired. Well, that's when you get it normally.
Yeah.
And non-pregnant life.
And you know what it makes my smoothie taste like? Vimto.
I love Vimto.
I know, I thought you would like that. So, yeah.
Vimto bonbons are the best.
So anyway, I messaged them and I was like, right, well, I freaking love this. I says, I loved telling the pod pigs about new recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you give me a code? And the code is a lot on your plate, I think, or ALOYP, ALOYP. And you get some nice discount off anything off JS Health. So check it out. I've spoken about JS Health loads on my Instagram. It's really, really, really good supplements. But I personally can't recommend to you enough the new magnesium. It's in like a navy and white pot. And it's pink. And I think it's raspberry lemonade. Tastes like Vimto. So good in my smoothie. Just 2 little scoops. And my restless legs are no more. So get on board with that, Zoz. But in fact, you actually really like using some of their supplements.
I like the hair and energy ones for a while.
Yeah.
I just ran out and... You know me, didn't get them back.
Yeah.
And people love the detox and de-bloat.
Yeah, I took that for quite a long time, actually. Really good.
I think you just need to be on it at like the right timings with that one.
The hair and energy one is
That's
really
one I've
popular.
tried, yeah.
And they do a good iron one as well. Anyway, right, should we get into the topic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why frickin' not? Hindu dramas, laughs, gossip... And you name it. You frickin' name it. Coming from us two that haven't been hens before.
Me and Zoe are nice and organised with our shared notes. Thanks for the tip on that, girls overheard. We're now on it like a cow bonnet.
It's actually very helpful. It's more helpful the fact that you did it. Actually.
But we can tick it off as we go. I love that.
It's a checklist.
Or we can just tick it. We can just delete it. So, we asked on our stories, give us all the goss. Go for it, Zoe.
Oh, here we go. I'm first, right. This is a disaster waiting to happen, but one of my friends is going on a hen do with about 20 other girls, and it's all small friendship groups that don't really know each other. Between them, guess how many bedrooms there are in the Airbnb? There is 3 in total.
What?
For over 20 people. The maid of honour booked it before asking anyone. Glad it's not also one of my friends, as it sounds like hell and I'd be checking into a hotel for some personal space. That's my worst nightmare.
That's like 7 people to a room. How the fuck's that going to work?
Top and tail.
No.
I just think in this day and age as an adult, like you don't want to be doing sharing at all.
So is what she's saying is she didn't expect everyone to say yes?
Nobody had the choice. She's saying the maid of honour just booked it before asking anyone.
What?
But surely the bride's not going to be happy with that.
No. She's getting sacked.
People have got absolutely no self-awareness.
My oldest sister's hen was a disaster. Her friends really pushed us to get a stripper and said it wasn't a hen without one. Me and my other sister, who were her bridesmaids, pushed back and said we really didn't think she was the type, but they went ahead and booked it anyway. On the day, with each layer of clothes that came off, I could see my sister was not comfortable and not laughing to the point she told us to make it stop. Oh my God. Obviously, me and my sister are absolutely devastated that we let this go ahead, knowing our sister wouldn't like it. So it ended up crying in the toilets. Oh no. Our auntie decided that was the perfect opportunity to come and try and make amends with us about previous family drama. Whilst obviously she's crying in the toilet. To put into perspective here, the auntie spoke to the oldest sister, but not the other sister. It was so ridiculous that the auntie was uninvited from the wedding. None of us speak to her now, and we can finally laugh at the situation.
Why do people... Oh, I don't know. I was going to say why do people get so offended at a stripper, but would I enjoy that? No, I wouldn't.
You know, as I was reading that out, I was thinking, this is like you, but I don't think you would be like, make it stop. I just think you would be stiff as a board, like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not the type to like get involved.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like people really embrace it. Like you would probably touch them and all that.
No, but what you've got to remember is if I had a hen do, who's in that room watching is a lot of family members from the person you're about to marry.
I know.
Potentially. So no, I would not be like groping someone's crotch whilst Richard's mother is sat there.
What I also don't really enjoy being the viewer of the situation either.
Yeah, because it's just like...
It's a bit awkward. Like, it does make you want to cuddle up and die. I don't know, but the stripper, I think I would much rather a lot of other things.
Why is that? Why, when you have these hen do's, yeah, why is it all about a penis? And it's never about a vagina when it's a stag do?
Is it not because... What I'm about to say is even worse, actually, with what you've just said. What I was going to say is it not because back in the day, in the olden days, it was very much like until you were married, you could kind of do what you wanted, kind of?
You were a virgin, basically. So you're signing up for the dick?
Yeah, but also maybe moving on from that a wee bit, it was like you would get everything out your system before the wedding day. Like, I don't know if it was seen as...
don't know.
Bad then, I don't know.
Maybe for the woman it was. Maybe for the man, not so much.
But then that's what I mean. But then why is the guy's not about the vagina? Because then, is that because they're just always going to do what they fucking want anyway? Probably. Do you know what I mean?
We have said this before, like the sashes at hen-dos and things like my last rodeo in that shop. But like things, a man doesn't wear stuff like that. In fact, the man has nothing to do with you on him. Sometimes they have your face.
I don't mind a willy straw.
I bet you don't, you dirty bitch.
I don't mind that at all. I think that's a wee bit of banter. Fling that in there. It's not like... I don't want like a big detailed willy hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah. I'm not offended by them either. I know a lot of people are like, it's tacky or... What I don't love, and I think we've said this before, is the sailor hats.
I just don't know why that's got anything to do with a hen do.
Same. Interesting.
I think you need a wee bit of tack on these things. It's part of what you sign up for.
For sure.
Went on a hen to Tenerife years back and it was fucking wild. Should have known it'd be chaos when we all got leathered on the flight out and were swapping seats and numbers with guys on a stag do. Vaguely recall doing shots of whiskey on a guy's lap. Legit can't remember getting off the plane. Quiet as a mouse girl was caught doing gear in the...
Jump scare.
Can I say that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Quiet as a mouse girl was caught doing gear in the toilets. Someone slept with someone on the beach. Someone slept with someone in the club toilets. Someone lost their bag and phone. A couple of girls returned to the hotel at 9 a.m. after being at a random house party. There were strip teases received and given. It was absolute utter carnage. One of the best weekends of my life. None of the antics ever were spoken about again to protect relationships and dignities. Ooh. And everyone adhered to what happens in Tenerife stays in Tenerife.
Sounds like my kind of hen do. Love it.
That's just what you need to do. See if you get single... I mean, I was going to say if you get single pals. The fact that she said protect relationships isn't giving single pals. But if you've got single pals, fucking get them out there.
It's giving the hangover. I like it. Night 1 of 4 abroad for my bestie's hen. Playing a pre-scripted drink if instead of never have I ever because it felt safer with the adults that were there with us. And the bride didn't expect... And the bride didn't want to expose herself too much to her mum. It turns out it wasn't her mum we were to be worried about. The mother of the groom was so drunk by the final round that she skipped the whole drink if part and off script blurted out that she had in fact come 3 times in one night and clearly wanted the bragging rights for it, to which the whole room was silenced and she very swiftly took herself to bed, leaving her gin goblet and phone behind. It was never spoken about again for the rest of the holiday, but none of us have been able to look at it in the same way since. Laces. Oh my God, imagine that.
I think in those situations, like the mums of the people getting married are like still wanting to be youthful, so they want to, like still, they don't want to be seen as the mum there.
Yeah.
Like they want to be involved, so they take it too far. Gin goblet, nothing describes a mum like that.
Gin goblet.
A gin goblet. Bless her. Right. Husband and I had a hag do. Hen and stag. Is that not called a sten?
Yeah.
Anyway, away for a weekend with pals in this mansion Airbnb in Troonlaw was so fun and so silly. Was so fun and so silly, but on the day we checked out, the host put in a claim through Airbnb for £2,000 because we scratched the hardwood floors, and they said they had to replace the entire floors in the whole house.
Sure you did.
We argued with them for weeks, with them getting all quotes for the work, etc. Ended up not having to pay for it, but the friend who booked the house now has her Airbnb account blocked and can't book anymore because of the bad review. Found out that the host tried to do the same to another group too. Just buy a new floor if you want one, hun. So they're at it.
Cowboy Airbnbs.
Imagine you just paid that though.
And that won't be cheap.
£2,000 they were quoted.
And I bet you what they think is they like prey on hen and stag do's where you get so pissed.
And they don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Be careful out there, folks.
Clever, but also snakes. So I went to Aaron for mine. Hang in there, it gets more exciting. The restaurant we went to wouldn't let a hen party dine, so we got all split up. Some wanted to eat, others didn't. A few of us ended up in like a rugby club after a random signers in. If you know, you know. I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know what that means.
I don't. Anyway, if you know, you know. My cousin was trying to lift one of the rugby players up, dropped him and he fell through a table, so we got papped out of there. Ended up bumping into another random who showed us a shortcut to the nightclub, which was actually just a house converted. The shortcut was through a field, so we were up to our shins in mud and had to wash our feet by flushing them down the toilet. Ended up dancing about wearing the chef's shoes from the restaurant. We weren't allowed in. I'm a size 4. He was a size 10. So they were like clown shoes. Everyone in the club knew it was my hen do, and I ended up crowd surfing about the dance floor. The ferry home was fearful. Lots of people from the night out. Icing on the cake was my cousin had a workie in her house a few days later. Long story short, he had family in Arran, and apparently we were the talk of the island 5 years later, and I've still not been able to watch any of the videos back.
That's what you want.
Brilliant.
Talk of the island.
Small Scottish island.
Mm-hmm. So I was studying in Madrid at the time. My ma, who's off her heat, invited me to her pal's hen do in Benidorm, which I was buzzing for because they're a good laugh. I was 22 at the time. My first boyfriend had just broke up with me the week before because we were doing long distance. Blessing in disguise anyway. So I get a 6-hour coach to Benidorm, but was still on that nonsense heartbreak diet, skinniest I've ever been as I'm a grubber. In capital letters. And my ma's pals are already on stage with the Lionel Richie tribute act. I must have drank 7 cocktails and smoked 5 fags within the hour on an empty stomach, so no wonder the events unfolded when that's paired with a squad of Ayrshire women who drink like fish. I ended up drinking straight until the Sunday morning. Highlights from the mob bender were stealing electric buggies and crashing into a bucking bronco. One of the old aunties trying to send me to my bed because I was out the game, but she sent me to my room in the hotel lift. Turns out I passed out in the lift and was found an hour later by other lassies on the hen do. The bride-to-be handed me a can of dragon soup and said we're heading to the beach at 9 a.m. But hey, at least I got to see Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson perform on the one night. Can I beat Benidorm?
Have you ever been to Benidorm, Zoe?
No.
Have you ever heard of Sticky Vicky?
Yeah.
Is she still around?
No, but her daughter does it now.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Have we said this before?
I don't know. But her daughter does do it in her place now, which I think's even fucking weirder. Do you know what I mean?
Like, imagine that, going to watch your mum's show and then she's like, you'd look at her like, I want no aspire to be like my mother pulling a banana out of her vagina.
I know. And then the mum, like, because a lot of people do jobs but they wouldn't want their children to do it, or do things or have done things but wouldn't want it to pass on to their children. Do you know what I mean?
Wonder what she's called.
Sticky Mickey.
Sticky Vicky Jr. Right. Where do I even start? The maid of honour organised a surprise stripper who looked fit and young in his pics and who was coming as a police officer, who called himself the Italian Stallion, to arrest the bride. We were all very enthusiastic despite being crowd surfed on by a naked pot-bellied old man. We still cheered him on though. Things turned sour when the mother-in-law had enough of being molested and spilt her drink on him. The anger that unleashed from this man was nothing like we have ever seen before.
Oh my
His
God.
aggression caused him to throw a drink in my mother-in-law's face. We didn't know if it was part of his act or not. He demanded we left so we could get dressed and told us we were the worst group he had ever had. We didn't know the level of service he was going to provide. But let's just say there were dildos being thrown about that he used as props. Whilst doing some digging on this man, we found out he has been on the sex offenders register. Oh my goodness. He has more than 20 kids, as he is a sperm donor. He's been on this morning talking about it. Safe to say, we will never, ever forget this experience, and it's become a law in our friendship group. This man lives rent-free in our heads. Sorry, I have now been informed that it's actually over 30 kids now that he has.
What the fuck? You thought you were getting an Italian stallion? And you got wee Jimmy for doing the road?
I need to see what this man looks like.
They sent a picture of him, I'm sure.
Did they?
I'm sure they did. I remember seeing a
wee I remember seeing a picture of someone shaking their willy in the
man,
face.
yeah.
Okay, here's some shorter ones now. Let's roll them out.
Been on a hen do where the maid of honour fell out with the bride and physically had a fight, and also on the same hen do as the fight, the bride-to-be cheated on her husband. Obviously, this needs to be anonymous. I am so shook about this. Is this a thing? Surely people don't cheat on their hens and stags.
They do. They do. I've heard it many times.
Do you think it's like an impulse, like, I'm never going to get to do this again?
Maybe. Or you just get so rat-arsed. You actually have to think about some of these men, right? I'm not making any excuses, by the way, here. But they are so set up by their mates.
I know, by the way.
And they get themselves in some state that they probably have no idea what's going on.
I'm not funny at all about, like, Jason going out, drinking, whatever. Like, we are both very chilled in that department.
Yeah.
However, you just saying that, no wonder girls are a wreck when their guys are in their stag do's.
I know.
Because it's the pals' fault.
Yeah, they do egg it on, don't they, a bit?
And a lot of pals, I think...
Strip clubs as well.
Yeah, and I don't think they necessarily think of the bride in the situation.
No.
Like, you might have the odd one that's like, you're maybe good pals with, or whatever, who would be thinking of you, but the rest of them don't give a fuck.
And you have to think, when you're at that age where you're getting married, it's probably so rare that you're getting all your boys back together
Lads'
at this
holiday.
age. You're all in your, like, I'm stereotyping here, but let's say you're in, like, your 30s. You've got all the lads together. You finally got away from your family for the weekend.
I know.
You're going ape shit.
Yeah.
Sorry to put the fear of God into anyone's man going on a stag do this year, but just going to say, get your spines out.
I think we do stens.
Stens. I think that would be actually really fun.
I think if your groups align.
Yeah. And like if there was some that fancy each other, or
there could be like a bit of juice going on.
I reckon it'd be really fun if you were married to like all the women went with all the men. Yeah.
But that's when it gets hard and folk break up and all that nonsense.
Oh, there's a few of these. I would love to know more of these as well, actually, and I'd like to see picture evidence. But bridesmaid fell off an e-scooter in Rhodes, snapped half of her front tooth and broke her arm.
Ben, you would have a fucking stookie on for your wedding. Nah, you'd need to cancel it.
The hen took something dodgy in Ibiza, fell down the boat stairs, face injury a week before her wedding.
Nah.
Also, I was thinking about this. Imagine how many injuries that you get from the stag.
I know.
For your husband to be. Imagine him walking down the aisle with a big black eye. I'd give him another. Yeah,
I just wouldn't be having it. We wouldn't be getting married.
Guys, please send in any picture evidence of this. There's got to be loads. Also, there must be disasters as well. From the day you're getting your like makeup done, do you spill something on your dress before you go out, or has somebody accidentally spilled something on you before you walk down the aisle? You've tripped on your dress.
Your dress on it literally the very last moment that there's none of that's possible.
Bet it's happened.
You'd be fuming.
Walk down in your little lacy underwear instead.
Was asked for receipts of where the money was going when I was planning a hen do.
Oh. This is another thing. With hen do's, I think it's the drama of the planning, because you're in a group of so many different people and you've got people with different financial situations, which is honestly fair enough. I know that some of them can be extremely excessive, but it's almost like people don't trust that what you're saying is the case.
Yeah, exactly.
So you feel a bit like, fucking hell, am I really going to mug you off? But then again, you do hear horror stories of people taking money from things.
How can anyone do that without guilt, though? I don't get it.
The next one's quite a good one to go into, actually, then.
3 days abroad and home hen costing 2.3k so far.
So far?
Is that because they're doing an abroad and a home? This is the other thing. People do abroad hens, but then because not everyone's able to attend, they do a fucking home one and all.
I've got a friend who has been to many hen do's last year, and she was just saying, like, it's actually skinting her.
Yeah.
And some of the friends that she had were having that like that. It was just too much. And she was like maid of honour for quite a few of them as well.
I think it's unfortunate when you're kind of part of them and a lot of them fall in the 1 year, because maybe one of your holidays in the year or whatever, or a weekend having to be devoted to that, fine. But see, when you're on number 3 or 4 and all your money's having to go towards that,
yeah,
I would hate if that happened.
And if they worked corporate and they only had the holiday entitlement,
yeah, so all
like
your
28
holidays
days,
going towards like your pal's hen do's.
and none to go away with your man or.
And also, a lot of people wouldn't necessarily repay the favour, really.
No.
Like, people are very, I want everyone to come to mine, but you don't know if they'll come to yours.
Mm-hmm. Friend of my hen got locked in the guy's apartment in the morning. We were meant to be coming home dead. Shit. Fucker. Missed your flight.
I hope she wasn't with somebody.
Oh my God. My friend is now married to the same guy who was the best man at her first wedding. What? So basically she married her ex's best mate.
Fair fucks.
Mary and Jerry.
No, that is bad.
I would like to know more on that story.
Oh, you can't. Love's love, though, innit?
Love's love. That's giving boundaries. Love Actually at the door.
Yeah. There's boundaries in this life, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes morals need to come before love, you know?
But then sometimes you just can't help yourself.
Ooh. Maybe it's the brother.
Maybe.
Or the dad.
My goodness.
Sometimes brothers or dads are the best man.
Right, 2 more.
7 themed outfits for a 4-day hen. Is this a bit much? Please say yes. Fucking 4 themed outfits for a 4-day hen would be too much.
That is beyond excessive, by the way. And if you're listening to this and you've got a hen do and you're planning 7 themed outfits, have a word.
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
It's then the pressure of having to buy all these new things to fit a specific thing. Find them for a start. Secondly, if people don't have a lot of money to go on this hen, right, but are managing to go, they're then having to buy a full new wardrobe, whereas maybe they could have made do with previous holiday clothes. It's just like a full extra cost.
That's going to be like a all white party, isn't it? And then
pastel day.
Pastel day? Jesus, fuck.
Then we'll maybe all have like
glitter, disco.
Some people, I do like when people do like all their old jobs.
That's brilliant.
I think all the people on it dressed up as each of their jobs that they had. So like one was like McDonald's, one was like Greg's or whatever. So they all did that.
McDonald's at Ocean Club.
See, I think making the bride do funny things is good.
Yeah.
But I don't think fucking 20 folk in a hen do need to be in different outfits every day.
No.
I would quite frankly hate to be told to do that.
But I don't mind a couple of themed ones. Like I think a white party is brilliant. And then
I don't mind
glitter
like that.
box or something. But then 7 for a 4-day hen do, that's what's excessive.
I know. And even if you do maybe like a white day or a pink day or whatever, the chances are you've maybe got something if you're not able to buy something. Or you can make it work.
Whereas, also, provide me. Like if it's T-shirts with her face on, you provide me with that stuff.
Provide me, but it'll go in a wee foldy up in my bag. I'm not wearing it.
Yeah.
It'll be my jammy top.
Love that. Let's round it off, shall we? I'm going to let you do this, though.
No.
Yes.
The word see ya were literally about to come out of my mouth.
Shut up. We're ending the season.
Right, okay, here we go. You ready?
Look at the camera, like your mother tells you to do. She's waving. Hi. She's waving.
Well, end of season 5. Thanks for all your love and support always. Mwah. Enough? Enthusiastic enough?
It's not enough. It's not enough.
What do you want from me? I
Passion.
said thank you. Thank you for all your love and continued support. Always, moi.
Mwah.
That's nice.
Seriously, thank you for all your love and continued support. We really hope that you continue on with us over on Patreon over the next few weeks. And Zoe's going to have a few lovely guests in my absence. I will 100% be keeping you up to date on there of a few bits and bobs if I can have the physical energy to do so. I'm sure I will.
If you're able.
I'm sure I will. But yes, we really hope you've enjoyed this season. We don't know when we'll be back, but usually we would have taken a break after Christmas. So we've stuck with you for now. And we usually come back around Valentine's, don't we?
Yeah.
But that is when the baby's due.
We're kind of aiming for April, so fingers crossed that we're able to do that. But if not, as Jess said, I'll be on Patreon anyway, myself. Well, it won't actually be myself, I'll have.
Me for half of it.
I'm thinking I'm going to call it Zoe and Friends. Thoughts?
Love that.
I don't know who my friends are.
We'll find you some.
But we'll find some.
Yeah. And thank you so much to our lovely Up Next studio guys.
Yay.
Yay. You're the best ever. And we will be back here with them. We like to threaten them every single week that we're never coming back, but we absolutely are.
And also, please stay with us on socials because we'll still be posting clips and maybe a few question boxes on what you want to see for season 6.
Season 6.
I think we should call it season 6.
All right, let's do it. SEX. Even though I'm definitely banning myself from sex. No more children. And no, we also have one little question to ask you guys.
What?
We need an assistant. Boom, boom, boom.
Dun, dun, dun.
We need somebody to help myself and Zoe out with a few bits and bobs for the podcast now that it gets busy. But if you are a fan of A Lot on Your Plate and you have experience in editing, in social clips, we're talking here, if you're experienced in knowing the trends, because
social media sort of background.
I don't really know what I'm asking for here really, because
social media / marketing background.
Yeah. When we need somebody to go and listen to all of our episodes and do us some really cool clips, help us with just managing the podcast really in terms of like topics and managing the inboxes. There's a lot. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in a podcast, which
there's a lot of admin sort of sides, and it's hard when I can only listen to myself talk like once a week.
Oh yeah, and we've got to that point now where we don't always want to have to listen back. We are more comfortable in freeing in what we say, but sometimes having somebody listen to it with fresh ears, they're like, oh, that was a really good clip, or that was a really good thing that you should focus on a bit more. And it's hard for us because we're just quite self-critical sometimes, I think. So having that...
Sometimes you're just too close to something. You need a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah. So if you know of someone or you feel like you're the perfect candidate, please drop us a DM and we will potentially meet with you and go from there, really. But yeah, we don't really... this is very unofficial right now, but we've had a discussion and we need some extra support for the next season because we want it to grow and get bigger and better.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And for that to happen, there needs to be a team.
Yes.
The team needs to go.
How exciting. And we're nice to work with, so... I am anyway, unsure on this one.
I'm a perfectionist, I'll just put that out there in case it ruins your ideas, anyone. Okay, well, thanks so much, we love you, and we'll see you next season.
Bye guys, wish me luck.